Hey guys, this is Sandy White from Simply Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And we're going to be wrapping up September, our Healthy Brain segment. And it's beautiful outside. But I do got a quick question for you all. And right now I'm just doing a little bit of errands while I'm talking to you all. I'm at the mailbox and, here's the question. How many of you all have gone to the mailbox, gone to the refrigerator, and you totally forgot what you were supposed to be doing? And then you're standing there like, wait, all right, let me go back because I came here for a reason. Now I can't remember what I'm supposed to do. Or you leave out the room and you go to another room, same thing. Why did I leave and come into this room? Well, there are a combination of things that can happen. One of the main things that causes this is brain inflammation. So, how many of y'all know, especially if you are a lady, you could get brain fog when you're pregnant? And then many of you all know that you can get brain fog during menopause. And then you can get it regardless if you're male or female if you are not taking care of your brain, and it's called inflammation. So we're going to talk about what inflammation does to the brain in this portion of our segment. So y'all know we only got 20 minutes and I'm trying to stick to it as much as possible. I talk a lot. And I appreciate y'all for just allowing me to just share with you all. I want you all to be able to get on here, get what you need, and then roll out. So what inflammation does to the brain, according to processed foods, sugars, trans fats, and additives, they all equal up to inflammation. That causes you to have serious disruptions in your brain, causes you to have memory challenges, mood swings, and focus challenges. So a lot of times assists someone with ADHD to have a better outcome by simply paying attention to the foods that they're eating. So if they're processed laden, change that so that they have more colorful foods on their plates. Now, keep in mind, everybody is not gonna like all of the peppers, and like I saute them, and then like I will make a steak and I'll cut the steak up and maybe put it in like the sauteed peppers. Like, not everybody's gonna like to have a colorful plate, and in order for me to make sure that my family eats what I know they should be eating, I like the raw. Like, I'll do both. I'll saute it and I'll eat it raw. So like you can get hummus, and I like the hummus with the spices on it, but my kids don't like that. So I'll saute it. I may make a steak, and then I'll take shredded lettuce. I'll take some kale, raw kale, cut it up, and put the peppers that have been sauteed over the lettuce and the kale and the steak. They will eat it that way. So it's gonna take some Sherlock Holmes for some of us that know we have family members that, you know, they've been eating processed foods a lot longer than they should, and they need some assistance. So in order for them to be successful in eating the way that they should so that they can live a long, healthy lifestyle, we're just gonna have to do a little investigation. I know my husband will eat stuff raw, not on a regular, but he will eat it raw. I know my kids, certain foods they'll eat raw. So you just gotta put in, and I'm gonna say moms are the matriarchs of the family. You're just gonna have to put in a little bit of work, and I don't even wanna say too much extra work, because remember I always tell you all to prep. So if you meal prep, you already know, and I had a pediatrician, which I still have. I shouldn't say I have a pediatrician that services my kids. And you have a pediatrician for your kids, I think until they're like, I think 20, maybe 19. So after they're out of the teens and they need a regular doctor. But she suggested, don't make multiple meals. Have them eat what you cook. And I never did that because their taste buds are not my taste buds. So that's why I say you have to do a little bit of investigation on who likes what. And if they like it raw, like, do you need to do some seasoning or something on the vegetables so that it'll make it more appealing to their palate? I'm okay with that. And if you're like, I don't want to do all of that, but I got what you're saying, you do know that your kids, if they make it, they're going to think it tastes like all that in a bag of chips. I've told you all about that as well. Just have them come in and help you. Hey, I want to have this for dinner and I need some help. And they'll say, okay, fine. What do you need me to do? And then you just tell them what you need and they'll be happy to cut up. Make sure that the knives or whatever you give them is going to be safe so nobody has any injuries. But I'm telling you, if you get them involved in what you're going to be doing in the kitchen, they will be so happy and they will help you. All right, so let's jump into the next part of our brain health so you all truly get an understanding of removing inflammation and how you can remove inflammation. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to do this in phases because I'm going to suggest that you don't go cold turkey. Some of y'all can do it, but it's not going to be healthy. I hate to say that because I may be wrong and I'm not trying to speak anything ill. Just know you. If you can go cold turkey, great. If you can't, then just wean certain things off. And one of the things, like I always say, we always like something to snack on. So take, for example, you don't even have to do a regular potato. You could do a sweet potato and slice it. They have sweet potato chips, but as I mentioned to you all before, you do have to read the ingredients because the ingredients have a lot of items in there so that that particular food that is healthy, that now has become processed, those items are placed in there, those ingredients, I should say, items, ingredients, whichever one you want to use, they're there so that that item, food item, can have a very long shelf life. The longer the shelf life, the worse it is for your body. I want this to be a memorable segment. I want you all to remember what to do and why we talked about this. So think about your brain being like a crisp apple. An apple is crisp, it's juicy, it's sharp. That's how your brain is supposed to be. Now think about your brain like a bag of chips. Chips are processed foods, so anything that falls into that category, it's going to cause your brain to be foggy. It's going to cause the neurons to not function as often, especially if you are doing the processed foods on a continuous, regular basis. I mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you've been doing it for years. You got to give yourself an opportunity for your body to relax. Your brain cannot handle that. Your body cannot handle that. And I've told you guys multiple times, hey, you want some potato chips? They make the utensil where you can take a raw potato and slice it thinly, put your seasoning on it, and then bake it 250 degrees for about 20 minutes or so, or whatever is going to make your taste buds sing. And you can actually do this in your air fryer. Guys, you've got to take more care of your body. You only got one, and it doesn't regrow itself. Here's another one where you know you're dealing with brain fog. You go to the doctor's office and they say, hey, what have you been eating for the last couple of days? What have you done? For some of you all, somebody asked you, what did you do yesterday? And you can't remember. We want to stop that. We want to end that right now. Again, the question was, take a piece of paper, write down 3 of the heaviest processed foods that you have eaten today. And I hope you can remember it. And you only need 5 seconds. And just look at that paper. And then once you look at that paper of what you have written down, tell me the benefits of that food that you ate. Other than instant gratification, what did it do to assist your body, your brain? Did you get heartburn afterwards? Did you start feeling joint achiness? Did you start feeling sleepy because of your glucose levels rising, your insulin levels rising, and then you're realizing that you're having symptoms of insulin resistance, where that's when you start getting sleepy because the doors to the cells are closed and the energy, which is the glucose from the carbs that you ate, couldn't be moved into your muscle. And I'm going to tell you something. Here's a tip. As soon as you start feeling sleepy, get up. And I've told you guys this multiple times. Walk 15 minutes after you have eaten something, whether it was super carb loaded or not. Just get up and walk 15 minutes after you have eaten. You will do your body good, and it'll help you to release the stored body fat. Now, if you didn't know, inflammation affects your heart. Neurotransmitters going from your brain to your body, your heart, whatever it is that the communication is within your body, it can't function properly. So this is the main reason why you want to make sure that the foods that you are eating, they are beneficial for you regardless of what you're actually doing and how you're doing it. Like the bag of potato chips that you ate, how is it going to help you with your performance? And sitting is now the equivalency of smoking because we sit so much. You got to get up 15 minutes and you got to stretch or walk around. You cannot just sit all day long. It wreaks havoc on your body. And then some of you all are feeling it in your hip flexors. I mean, it hurts so bad when you walk. And also, here's another tip. Make sure that you have the proper orthotics in your shoes. And then after 3 months, if you're using a pair of shoes on a regular basis, it's time to get them replaced. Like a lot of us like wearing our tennis shoes, so we got to get them replaced. That will help relieve the achiness in your joints, in your hips, in your feet, and especially in your lower back. All right, so that was a lot of talking, but did you look at the foods that you wrote down? And I only asked you all to write down 3 of them. Were they good? Were they bad? How did it make your body feel? All right, let's move into some more. What I want to do is just some trivia because we're ending our month of September, our brain health segment. We're going to end this, and I just want it to be fun and memorable for you guys. So let's jump into some of the trivia. So on this part, I want to share just 3 fun facts or trivias that I think you all might find interesting. And don't cheat. If you know the answer, no, I'm just kidding. If you know the answer, put it in, or you know, like when you all go to the broadcast, wytv7.org, you look for me, Simply Fit, leave a comment and just let me know how you like this one. All right, so first trivia, we got 3 of them. First trivia question. Did you know blueberries are nicknamed brain berries because of the antioxidants that reduce inflammation? And I'm going to suggest to you, eat 10 of them before you go to bed. 2 hours before you go to bed, because you don't want it to stain your teeth, so make sure you brush your teeth before you go to bed at night. All right, brain trivia number 2. Did you know salmon and walnuts can literally build better brain cell connections because of their omega-3s? I'm telling you guys, not that you should do it, but I so enjoy salmon. I know we do it at least 3 to 4 times a week, and you can do it in a salad. Like, I love doing this. You take the capers, you take some red onions, you take some Italian dressing, and you can actually make that Italian dressing yourself. But if you don't want to, you can take some Italian dressing, take the salmon, brush it with some honey, put your seasoning on it, and then cut the pieces into small quarters, and then mix the salad, the kale, the romaine lettuce, the onions, the Italian seasoning together. You have got you an incredible lunch. I mean, guys, you don't always have to take a supplement, but you do need to eat right. All right, so let's get into number 3 trivia question. Now, trivia 3 question, it's a little shocker, but did you know 1 can of soda can cause temporary memory issues just hours later from the sugar spike? You can make your own soda. You can get some date juice and put the date juice in with, you got carbonated soda, carbonated water. So you can get some carbonated water, put some date juice in there, and boom, bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. I said that too many times. So you could take carbonated water and date syrup and create your own soda. You don't have to drink regular soda. You can create your own. You can take mangoes and blend them and put that in carbonated water. I think most of y'all like drinking sodas because you just like the carbonation. But if you get carbonated water and then you blend up some fruits, you don't need, if you're still drinking the soda that starts with the C and the one that starts with the letter P, y'all didn't know they take that to clean acid off of batteries. You don't want stuff like that in your body. I know it tastes good, but you need to take a few seconds and get that into your healthy routine, that in order for you to live a long, healthy lifestyle, you're gonna need to start making your own food items. So we are going back to where I told you all to write down 3 foods. Hopefully you remember. Now, I've said this multiple times, trying to help you all out. 3 foods that you know that you have consumed today that were inflammatory. And then I asked you to rank them. And now what I want you to do is notice the food that was super inflammatory and write down, so you never go back to that food again, how detrimental that is to your body. And then I want you to pick a food that you can replace that detrimental food, that you can replace, that you can put in place of eating that. It's now going to be very helpful and allow you to live a longer, healthy life. Remember, we're doing small changes. Now, again, if you guys can jump into that change and do it all at one time, just be consistent with it. And I say do one at a time because you're likely to make that change consistent and it'll last forever. So remove that one item, because you have 3. Remove that item, scratch it off your list, each one of them. But when you scratch it out, say you were eating potato chips. So I just try to make this as simple as easy for you all. You don't want to give up potato chips, but you're willing to learn how to make your own potato chips in your air fryer or in your oven. though things are healthy, if you eat it in excess, yes, it's going to cause some kind of issues with you. If you don't, if you're not being responsible. We want to be responsible. That's why we're taking the time to go through all of this. All right, so if you need some help, all you have to do is look at the bottom of the screen. You'll know how to reach me, and I will be more than happy to provide you guys with some assistance. Now, it doesn't make any difference on what I provide to you all if you're not going to take the assistance that I'm giving to you all and try. All right, so let's jump into this last little bit, and then I want y'all to have a wonderful week. Jump into the next thing that causes brain inflammation, and that is a relatable analogy. It's like trying to think about you're trying to text your friend with 1 bar of service. You know you ain't gonna get very far on that cell phone. The message gets scrambled or delayed, and that's what you do to your brain when you eat a bunch of processed food. That's how your brain reacts when you constantly give your body tons of inflammable foods. It causes so much disruption. And like when we started the segment off, I asked y'all, have you ever, I started because I was walking to the mailbox. I said, hey, have you gone to a room, forgot where you were supposed to go? I don't remember if I said this one, but a lot of y'all go to the refrigerator and you're like, I'm in here and I don't even know what I'm in here for. I want something, but I don't know what I want, because you can't remember what you went in there for. Or you start a sentence and you can't finish the sentence because your brain is scrambling. So I want to say it's kind of like that. And I'm only saying that because my dad had dementia towards the end of his life, dealing with diabetes, and he didn't want to change his lifestyle, and I had to be okay with that. It took me a while to be okay with that, meaning I tried. I mean, the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys, taking the kale, making the kale chips and things like that, and he would eat it, but then he wouldn't. He would be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want alternatives. I want what I want. And I know the food is bad. And I had to make a choice because he needed a kidney transplant. And he jacked himself up so bad. Now, I was willing to do it, but it wasn't recommended because he had shown that he wasn't going to be consistent. And I gave you all a really small tip. I said, what are the last 3 foods that you ate that were inflammatory? Some of you all are going to remember what you ate. Some of you are not going to remember. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, how inflammatory was that item? Did you see or feel symptoms? Like, did you get sleepy? Was it 10 minutes after? Was it 15 minutes after? Did you start feeling achiness? Did your hands start to swell? You got to notice these things when you're eating these items that don't agree with your body, because it's going to be hard for you if you're not paying attention to what you're consuming, what you need to cut out. Now, I told you all this, but some of you all, I know y'all didn't try it because it probably sounded gross. But you can eat a sweet potato and take some Nutella and put it in there, and it will keep you satiated for several hours. Just because you're not used to it, you've not heard it before, does not mean you won't like it. You gotta try it. If you don't plan to be here, pretty much keep doing what you're doing. But I am y'all's #1 health and wellness cheerleader, and I'm not gonna stand for that. So if I'm gonna be here to encourage you, I gotta ask you, try. I always tell my babies, try. Don't say you don't like something until you try it. Have an open mind. You can't say you don't like something. You can't say you can't do something. You can't say that something won't work out for you if you don't try. And if you guys are new to this channel, I'm Sandy White, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And we are here to make sure that we provide you guys with simple tips and strategies so that you're able to overcome suicide and depression. And you fall into those categories when your brain is inflamed and you're not taking care of it properly. So this is why I take the time. Some things are repeatable, but some things are enhanced. It's all about making these hacks so that you guys can make them stick in your everyday life. So just want to wrap this up. I want you guys to choose life. I want you to choose clarity, and I want you to choose focus. So you're going to do 1 week of journaling of the foods that you're eating, and then you're going to swap out anything that's inflammatory, that's hurting your brain, with a food that is going to nourish your brain. And then you're going to walk for 10 minutes. An hour total, but 10 minutes each. That's the minimum. So within a week, you should be able to log that you have walked for an entire hour. If not, at least 10 minutes. That's an hour. I want to correct what I'm saying. That's an hour for the week. Now, if you can only do 10 minutes a day, and you can't do a full week, then you've got up to 50 minutes, okay? So that's not bad. And just think about, in a week, how that's gonna make you feel by making these swaps to feel better, to think better, to optimize your brain at the level that God intended and created it to be. So with that being said, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.